Have you ever gone through a bad breakup? I have, all right? I have gone through a bad breakup before. Not many, but I have some experience. All right? So look, I'm trying to tell you, man, it is a very I don't care. Listen, bad breakups are including are inclusive of divorce as well. That's included. So this session is for people who have gone through divorce, people who have just had a horrible breakup. It doesn't matter, y'all. Did you know the heart doesn't know that you're married? Did you know that? The heart doesn't know that you're married. The emotions don't know that you're married. The mind does, but the emotion doesn't. It's gonna listen. If you love somebody, you've been in love with someone, and you had a great investment in that relationship, and you break up for whatever reason, whether somebody was unfaithful, whether you decided, hey, this is not for me anymore, whatever the situation. And think when we talk about breakups, we're assuming that we're talking about women. This show is not about women. Men go through bad breakups too. Men hurt as well. Our process is a little different, but we hurt well. How we process a bad breakup, men process that differently than women. But this is not for women. It's for people who say, yeah, I've gone through a bad breakup. I'm going through right now. Or I need the information just in case I go through a bad breakup. Did you know your relationship is not guaranteed? I don't care what church you go to. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Your current relationship is not guaranteed. It's just not. It's not guaranteed, right? Nothing is guaranteed, all right? So, we all need to know how to cope and how to get through situations and relationships. Hey, before we get into it, has anybody on here, put in the comments, has anybody gone through a bad breakup, and how and what happened? I want to know what happened in that bad breakup before we get into the session. Yes, just weren't compatible, but the history was there, so held on too long. Very good point. So I said, sure have. Called off the engagement, kept the ring. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. Alcohol was my relief, but not now. That is, we're talking about that tonight. I have that in my notes to talk about. Yes, I lost 100 pounds and completed my master's. Best heartbreak ever. Wow. Good point. That's in my notes. With a friend, yes. Not with a bae. All right. All right. Somebody said, same. Cried for a day, then got another degree. Yeah. That's how you do that junk, boy. Yes, she wanted to party like it was 1999. Priorities was messed up. Good point. Time to go. Yes. Left and got a house. What? That's what I'm talking about, boy. I'm glad the men are sharing, man. Men act like anybody ever broke up, man. Look, man, let me tell you about mine real quick, dog. Came to the house, knocked on the door, and said, I don't want to be with you no more. Bye. That's what happened to me. I'm talking about, it took me, I was in love, man. I was in love. I remember that was a long time ago. I was in love, y'all, and it took me a minute to get through that. It took me, when I say a minute, I'm not talking about a few months. I'm talking about it took me, I was still in love with that person maybe a year after the breakup. Yeah, it was a real feeling, It was real. I cried. I'll never forget, man. I would be up crying. I think I was like 21, 22. Yeah, my early 20s. And it was tough. It was a tough time, And so maybe 23, or maybe that's when I think at 23, that's when I got over it. I was finally able to not carry that in my heart, right? I think I was 23. I think it happened around 22. Yeah, so I say about a year. It took me about a year to really get over it in my person, you know what I'm saying? And so that's what I want to talk about tonight. How do you get over a bad breakup? Will it happen to you? Possibly. You need to understand that. Nobody is above somebody walking out on you, somebody cheating on you, somebody saying, hey, it's nobody else in my life I just don't want to be with anymore. Hey, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Hey, this was never a good relationship in the beginning. I mean, nobody is above that, and we need to understand that. Everybody can experience a breakup. Everybody, if you get married, you need to understand that when you get married, there's no guarantee for your marriage. If you fall in love today, it does not mean you're going to be in love next year. It does not mean, it does. Life is life, man. Life is life. And we make a lot of promises. I'll never leave. I'll never do this. I'll never do that again. Life is life. People go through bad breakups. People break up. People stay together. People break up, get back together. ABC. I mean, you name it, it happens because relationships are. Listen to me. Relationships. You cannot control another person. You cannot control them loving you. You cannot control them being in love with you. You cannot control them being attracted to somebody else. You cannot control them wanting to be with somebody else. You cannot control them not wanting to be with you anymore. You are only responsible for yourself. And that's the power of love. I remember one of my teachers told me, because I was in love, bro. I remember all those times just growing up. Not all those times, but those times that I was in love. I remember just the seasons of that, being in love with, those people. No, let me go back. We're in another world. I just thought about it. You can't say people. Being in love, what gender? Being in love with those young women. There's only two back then. Only two. One person went on to be with the Lord. Other person, I don't know what they're doing now. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about keeping up with the ex. All right? Don't flex. You go and check their pages. Don't flex. We're going to talk about that too. But I remember this teacher told me, she said, Gabriel. Her name was Miss Lorraine Harris. Her name is Miss Lorraine Harris. Phenomenal woman. She said, Gabriel, love don't love nobody. And I was like, what is she talking about? But she was like, she said, love don't love nobody. And I was young, and get this, I didn't understand what she was talking about until me and that person went through the breakup phase, the argument phase, all of that. Love doesn't love anybody. And listen to me. I'm not 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, or 23. I ain't 25. I'm a little older than that. And family, Miss Lorraine Harris was right. Love doesn't love anybody. Not one bit. And what she was saying was love itself will cause you to be blind. Well, that's not love, because love is truthful. So sometimes when you love someone, you can not see the truth. Love will cause you to ignore. Love, being so in love, engulfed in love. We're talking about healthy. We're talking about real love, healthy love, y'all. And a lot of times our love is not healthy. But when you're talking about our own personal, when love meets dysfunctional people, when love meets clueless people, vulnerable people, weak people, insecure people, prideful people, whatever, when love meets that, it causes you to not see certain things, not see certain dysfunctions in people, not see people's issues, not see that people are unhealthy, not see that people are bums. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, I understand it, man. More and more that love doesn't love anybody. How do you deal with a bad breakup? Number one, you need to understand that failing in any relationship is a part of life. You need to understand that. Failing in any relationship and in anything is a part of life. You know, people are so prideful. People are so arrogant. People are so naive that they don't think that they deserve to fail at anything. Well, I'll have you know, you are absolutely 150% wrong about that. Life is not about success. Life is about a bunch of failures and your ability to recover from failure and learn from failure, bounce back from failure. But there is no success without failure. See, you figure that I heard this today, and I'll share it with you all, that sometimes people don't try new things because they are afraid of being a fool. Well, it is a fool that will not try new things, that you have to understand that you are a fool for trying new things, but you are more of a fool for not trying simply because you don't want to look like a fool. No, life is about trying new things. Life is about experiencing new things that you don't know how to do, that you don't know how to, you have no clue about how this is going to end up. You may be embarrassed. I remember my first time going to the police academy, I failed out. And I was a couple of days from graduation. And I'm going back to my point. I just want to help you. I remember literally 2 days from graduation, and I failed. I failed the academy. And then I called, my father was the first person that I called. That's another podcast, by the way. My father was the first person I called, and this is what he said to me. He said, well, now we get to see what kind of leader you really are. Now we get to see what kind of leader you really are. And he was like, now we get to see what you're going to do with failures. What he was trying to say is you can give up, quit, say forget it, or you can go back. And that's exactly what I did. I went back and I finished. Of course, and the rest is history. So my point is, if you're expecting to succeed in everything you do the first time, then you are a fool. And if you are afraid to try new things because it may not work, you are a plumb fool, including relationships, that every relationship you're in, that the person that you built your life around may not be the person that you spend your life with. Some relationships will fail. Some relationships will be successful but have failures within the relationship. It's a part of life. This is not it, and God can't keep you from that. Those of us who are Christians, I think sometimes because we have this unhealthy, uneducated perspective of God, that we think that when we experience failure, we say things like, why did God allow it to happen? Why? What did I do? You didn't do anything. It's a part of life. Some things God does, some things the devil does, some things we do, and some things just life does. You understand what I'm saying? So, why me? You didn't do anything. Or you may have done something. It's still a part of life. It's still a part of life. Okay, maybe the devil did it. Maybe the devil came and just destroyed your relationship or your marriage. Okay, that's still a part of life. You understand what I'm saying? Life will present opportunities of failure, and the proper response. The proper response is, all right, how do I take this failure and recover? So that's the first step. How do I get over a bad breakup? You have to establish one thing, that failing in any type of relationship is a part of life. It does not matter if the person was the contributing factor or you were or whatever. It's a part of life. Number two, you need to recognize that breakups are going to be emotional roller coasters. You need to understand that you're going to have every type of feeling in the universe. You're going to feel the feeling of anger, disappointment, rejection, embarrassment, disillusionment, guilt, betrayal, confusion, stress, fear, relief, Some people gonna be like, well, I'm glad that's over, right? Denial. You're gonna be like, oh, something's gonna change. God gonna restore it. I've seen that. I've seen. Hear me. I have seen people go through divorces. I've seen people go through breakups and just get to fasting and praying, and God is gonna restore, and God never does. But that's okay too. That's a part of the breaking up, the denial, denying the fact that this is over. It's not going to happen. Is it a possibility? Yes. But there are obvious signs that, hey, this relationship is not going to recover. So you're going to experience all of those things. Despair, hopefulness, loneliness is going to be a part of it. And here's what's so interesting. One day you will feel one feeling. All day you're going to be just angry. And the next day you're going to be like, man, I'm glad that's over. I don't have to deal with this. And then the next day you're going to feel so it's going to be this emotional roller coaster, and that's okay. It's okay to feel. Allow yourself to feel. Do not feel guilty for feeling. I repeat, do not feel guilty for feeling. You're going to feel. Embrace the feeling. Embrace the day, and don't let anybody tell you. And you're going to have stupid people that, well, you didn't need to be with them anyway. Well, that's not really going to help. When people are going through bad breakups, they are going to feel things, and your minuscule advice probably won't help them recover the feeling. They have to go through the process of, I call it the grieving process of a breakup. So it is okay to go through those days of feeling heartbreak, feeling sad, feeling guilty, feeling ashamed, feeling embarrassed. You're going to be embarrassed. You're going to be embarrassed that somebody cheated on you. You're going to be embarrassed that you cheated. You're going to be embarrassed at you're going to be embarrassed at the fact that you're the one who initiated the breakup. You're the one that initiated the divorce. All of those things are going to be natural feelings, and it is okay to feel those feelings. Number 3, get this, y'all. Don't engage in revenge posting. Do not engage in revenge posting. Stop doing that. Watch this. Revenge posting is inclusive of, and listen to me, everybody has done it. I've done it before. I have done it before. I remember when Twitter was out. Y'all remember Twitter? Twitter is really popular, by the way. Twitter is not dead at all. Twitter is alive and very well. It is a great platform for those who are political, those who are into politics and various things, all right? But I remember when Twitter first came out, all these types of things, you use Twitter to vent, you use Twitter to post, you use Twitter to make people jealous, you use Twitter to get people's attention. Yeah. Do not do that. Why? Why shouldn't you do the revenge posting? Why shouldn't you make posts to get people to make people think that you're doing well without them? All these subliminal postings to get people's attention, to figure out what you're talking about. Let me tell you what you're doing. Don't miss this. That means you still have prioritized that person in your mind and your emotions, and the objective is to move forward. So anytime you do the posting, anytime you do the jealousy posting, anytime you do the posting to get people to get that person, your ex, to wonder, who you're talking about. Anytime you're trying to put on makeup and look real cute just to get that person's attention, that means you have still prioritized. That person has still taken up a lot of real estate in your thinking, and that's really a contradiction to what you're trying to do. You're trying to find a way to move in a very healthy manner, move forward. But anytime you do all the posting and the revenge posting and the posting to do all that stuff, what you're doing is still prioritizing that person in your mind, and you got to stop doing that. Number 3, I think I said number 3. Number 4, give yourself some space. All right? Give yourself some space. Give yourself some space. Give yourself some space. Parenthetical to that, give yourself some time. Give yourself space. Give yourself time. It is okay. Hear me. I didn't say go into a place of seclusion, but give yourself some space. Kind of pull away from some things if you need to. Why? Because the objective is to heal. The objective is to quiet yourself, have reflection. The objective is to feel. Give yourself some space. Give yourself some time. A lot of times we put ourselves in numbing situations so we don't feel all those number 2s that I talked about. The feelings of rejection, embarrassment, pain, etc. We try to numb ourselves with alcohol, things. No, give yourself some space and some time to feel. That's a natural process. It's almost like suggesting that if you you make a mistake and cut yourself, you're expecting to not feel the pain for a couple of days. If you make a mistake and cut yourself, I don't care if it's a splinter, I don't care what it is, a knife, whatever, you're going to have that phase of feeling. It's a part of the healing process. So anytime you attempt to numb the pain, you are delaying the healing process. So give yourself some space, give yourself some time to feel so that you can properly heal. That's a good bar. Put that in the comments. Give yourself some space and time to feel so that you can properly heal. All right. Number 5, keep busy. Keep busy. You can be busy, all right? When I say keep busy, don't just sit in one spot. Don't just sit there and die. Don't just sit there. Well, I remember I went through a very, 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 very traumatic time. A tragedy hit my life, and my father gave me this one simple piece of advice that really sustained me for the rest of my life, the continuation of my life until this point. And I'll never forget it. He said, you have to cry while you're walking. And a lot of people do the opposite. We cry and stop walking. That when you're going through these emotional times, cry while you're walking. So cry and go to work. Cry and go to the gym. Cry and go to the movies. Cry while you're keeping busy. Find things to do. Find productive things to do. Find productive people to be around. All right. Number 6, I got to keep it moving. Got to go. Watch this. Talk to friends and family and others who will support you. Now, here's the interesting part about that. Sometimes you may need to apologize for friends and family because a lot of times relationships will cause you to be distant because you're nurturing and you're tending to the relationship. So a lot of friends and family you don't even engage with anymore. But it's okay to call them and tell them what happened. Apologize for your distance, but because tell them it's that what happened. Apologize. Let them know, hey, I was distant because of the relationship, and then it's okay to be honest and get around a healthy support system. All right. Give it time. It's going to take time. Give it time, y'all. It's going to take time. It's going to take time to heal. Every healing process takes time. For some people can bounce back quickly. Other people, it may take a couple of years. It's okay. People will say, hear me, wrong support system. For the support system, you may need to be a support system. Let me talk to you. Don't ever say to a person, you ain't over that by now. Everybody is different. You may recover quicker than other people. Hear me, it's okay for people to take as much time as they need. If in fact, and this is what support systems should do, support systems shouldn't be trying to push them to get over it. Support systems should be pushing them to be healthy while they're progressing. That's what helps you progress a little quicker. You're healthy. The process is healthy. Support systems should always be there to speak life to a person, to encourage them, to be a listening ear. Listen, support systems. Stop trying to give people advice. Sometimes people just need you to listen. You don't need to be everybody's counselor. A support system is not always a counselor. Now, some of you expect. This is my recommendation. If you've gone through divorce, if you have not sat with a counselor, you're not healed yet. I don't. That's my recommendation. If you've gone through a divorce, and you have not sat with a counselor, I could, in my experience, just sitting with people that I have a particular job and skill set that gives me the ability to acquire a certain amount of knowledge based upon observation through people I sit with and talk with. If you have not sat with a counselor and allow them at least 3 to 5 sessions to get through some things, because you can't get through everything on your own internally. If you have not sat down with a counselor, it is my professional recommendation that you are not healed. I'm gonna stand on that one. Because a counselor because you can't be your own mirror. A counselor is trained and learned enough to help you navigate through emotions and get this. And they will help you unveil emotions that you didn't even know they were present. So it is my recommendation that your support system, it is inclusive of friends, it's inclusive of family, and it includes some type of counselor. And you don't have to be married to go through a counselor. If you have gone through a heartbreak and you just dated somebody, go sit down with a counselor. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's keep moving. Get this, y'all. Somebody put in the comments, I go to the gym. I'm at the gym right now. That's one of the things that you should be doing to, in a healthy manner, get through a bad breakup. Force yourself to sleep. Force yourself to eat. Force yourself to exercise. Keep your mind and your body healthy. Listen to me, y'all. Now, get this, y'all. I'm going to tell you some things to stay away from, and then we're going to go. Get this, y'all. Get this. Listen to me. One of the worst things you can do is let yourself go while going through a bad breakup. Don't do that. Many people do it. Don't let yourself go during a bad breakup. I have seen people become bodybuilders, and they said the reason I started is because I went through a bad breakup. They were overweight in the relationship, went through a bad breakup, and they dug deep inside of themselves and said, okay, how can I recover in a healthy way? And these people literally became bodybuilders. What's my point? Don't let yourself go if you go through a breakup. Dig deep and advance yourself. Some people say, yep, I got a bad breakup and I went and got a degree. Yes. Advance yourself. Dig deep. You can cry in the gym while you're working out. Cry. Listen to the music that makes you emotional. That's okay. It's okay to feel. It is okay. But do not let yourself go. Go to the nail salon. Go get your hair done. Don't walk around like a bum. Listen to me. Why? Because that means you have given your esteem to a person and a circumstance. You have given your person, you have given all authority to the circumstance and the person. And that is a no-no. Don't let yourself go if and when you go through a breakup. Don't do it. Don't keep tabs on your ex. That's my next one. Don't keep tabs on your ex. Don't keep tabs on your ex. If you have to block them. Block them. Why? Because hear me, don't be asking how they doing, what they doing, trying to figure out what's going on, where they at. Don't rob by people's houses. Why? Because you're making them a priority, and in the breakup, you got to be the priority. You have to be the priority. If you all have broken up, they cannot continue to be the priority. You have to be the priority. So if you got to block them, if you got to keep them from texting you, whatever you have to do so that you can prioritize, because the breakup is a moment. It's an opportunity for you to prioritize yourself. Don't keep tabs. Bro, don't keep tabs on her. Men, listen to me. Men do it the most because we are very possessive. We don't want nobody smashing our girl. We don't want nobody talking to our girl, kissing our girl. If you all have broken up, you got to prioritize yourself. You got to move on. Let her go. If that ain't listen to me. If that ain't who you want to be with, let her go. Or if Shawty want to be with somebody else, let her go. Why? Listen to me. When I thought about doing this show, I was going to give you one tip, and I was going to end the show. Find somebody else, and I was going to click end live. What's my point? If somebody wants to be with somebody else, if the relationship is not working, if you feel as if, hey, this is frustrating, whatever the circumstance is, it's a moment. If you all have broken up, if y'all listen to me, you have to prioritize yourself and let that person go and do whatever the devil they gonna do. But you got to prioritize yourself. Now, here's the other one. Do not keep having sex with this person if y'all ain't together. Don't keep being physical. Don't keep being physical, and don't keep having conversations. You know why? You're delaying the healing. All you're doing is taking a wound. You're taking a wound, and you're delaying the healing process. You just keep digging at it. You keep having sex with a person that y'all have broken up, but you do the text, what you doing? I miss you. Come over. Look, man, if y'all are not getting back together, don't keep having sex. Because let me tell you let me tell you, men and women do this. I ain't just talking to, men and women do this. They'll keep having sex, just to keep controlling you emotionally. They know they don't want to be with you, but they don't want nobody else to be with you. So y'all keep having sex, or they're not seeing anybody else. So y'all will keep doing the physical getting the physical needs met, but you don't understand that everything physical or sexual is emotional. So every time you keep having sex, because here's the thing, the breakup is the process to possibly, if you understand this, because sex is a physical it's a spiritual connection. You have to break the spiritual tie to the person. So every time y'all will say, hey, we're not together anymore, but keep having sex. The soul tie continues, the spiritual tie continues, which allows the emotions to not heal properly. It keeps you from healing. So here's my word of advice. You can do what you want to do. I don't care. But I'm telling you, if you keep having sex, the healing process will be delayed. And typically, somebody is continuing to have sex, not because your sex was the greatest, but because they don't want you, but they don't want nobody else to have you. And sex suggests that I still own this. Male or female, sex suggests that I still own this. So, buddy, if she keeps saying, come over here, and you know what that means, like, nah, because I'm not going to allow you to walk around feeling like you still own me. Baby girl, if he like, come over here, you got to say no, because we've decided not to be together for whatever the reason is, right? I'm not going to allow you to feel as if you still own me and keep me in this emotional entanglement. And what? You move on emotionally, but I'm still entangled emotionally. Yeah, bro. Do what you want to do, but I'm trying to tell you. All right, look. Then, listen to me. In your breakup, don't date another person so quickly. Don't add another person to cope with the pain of the previous person. Wrong. Why? Because now you're using somebody else. You don't really like them. You don't really value them. You're not really attracted to them. That's unhealthy. You're using someone else. So now, watch this. Someone has to get over you because you maliciously use them to try to get over or cope with the pain of losing somebody else. That made a lot of sense to me. We call it rebounding. Don't use somebody as a rebound. Don't hang out with people to rebound. Don't do that. That's malicious. Don't do that. Learn how to be by yourself for a season until you're ready to date with a pure heart. And the purity of it is, I really want to get to know a person. You got to value people enough not to use other people to get over your particular pain. Does this make sense? All right. Now, stay away from these things and I'll let you go. Stay away from self-blaming. Self-blaming. Stay away from self-blaming. Stay away from taking on the full burden of the reason for the breakup. All right? Be accountable. Admit you're wrong. Admit your contribution to why the relationship was not successful. And then move on. Stay away from self-blaming. If somebody walked away from you, stay away from this. I didn't do this enough. I didn't do that enough. I didn't do this enough. I didn't do that enough. Stay away from that. I promise you that is not the totality of the reason. That's not, I promise you, you are not, listen to me. Own it. Own your contribution, but do not take on the full burden or responsibility for why the relationship was not successful. You're gonna dig a grave, for an emotional and mental grave for yourself. I can guarantee you 150% that if somebody walked away from you or somebody cheated on you, you hear me. I don't care what somebody said. You didn't do this enough. You didn't do that enough. No, a healthy breakup is when both people can say, I didn't do this well. I could have done that well. It does not mean we're going to get back together. It means in the future, I'm not going to bring that into my next relationship. But do not walk around carrying the full blame of what, hear me, you are not the only, listen, you are not, what you did, what could have been a contributing factor, but you are not 150% the reason why the relationship was not successful. And if in fact you do a thorough investigation and you find out that, yeah, I was the reason why this relationship was not successful, go apologize and start working on yourself, bro. Or lady. You heard me. Start working on yourself, because some people are just absolutely difficult. Some people they just did stuff. But what we tend to do, I'm really talking to this particular point, with a lot of people, arrogant, pompous, narcissistic people, they will make everybody the reason for their failure. Everybody the reason for their issues. Everybody. That's narcissism, right? That's a characteristic of a narcissist. Don't allow anybody to say, it was you. Hear me. A healthy person says, hey, I am not perfect. I did some things. These are the things I could have done better. But at this point in my life, because of these things that you did, I don't think that this relationship is going to work. That's healthy. Admitting, being accountable for the things you could have done better. But to walk around, I'm talking to about 4 people, because about 4 of y'all doing it, to walk around saying, I'm the reason why he left or she left, absolutely wrong. If you didn't do something immoral, and y'all know what I'm talking about, then you have to say, hey, I take ownership for the things that I did. Could you tell me some of the things that I did? I'm not trying to fix it for you. I'm trying to fix it for my future. I want to be better, right? But don't walk around taking the blame for every little thing. Number 2, don't not ask for emotional help and support. It is okay to ask for help. Hey, I am going through. Hey, I am heartbroken. Hey, you can't heal yourself. You cannot heal healthily by yourself. It is okay to ask for emotional support and help. 9:32, I'm all right. I got to rush it. Get this. Don't self-medicate with alcohol. Don't do it. Why? Alcohol is a depressant. You're going to feel worse. The objective is to feel better. The objective is to be better. Alcohol does not make you better. Alcohol doesn't help you recover. Alcohol is a slow, spiritual, watch this, every time you drink to feel better, to medicate, you're digging a deeper grave every time. It's keeping you from feeling, and you got to feel to heal. You have to acknowledge, I am hurting today. It is okay to say, I'm mad at him today. I don't like him today. I hate him today. It's okay to get all of those things out. And when you use drugs, alcohol, sex to numb the pain, you're digging a deeper grave. It's okay to cry for 7 days straight. Do not indulge in any type of narcotic or alcohol to feel better, because the objective is to be better, not feel better. Feeling better is when I face the feeling, overcome the feeling, and I move on. That's the objective, all right? Don't isolate, withdraw, or avoid other people. Don't isolate. Sometimes you got to be by yourself. That's fine. But don't isolate. If people call you, you may not feel like talking, but don't stay there too long. Pick up the phone so people can hear your voice. It's always therapeutic to be around the right people. It's always therapeutic to talk about it. You heard what I said? Don't isolate or avoid people. Scripture says this, there's safety in the multitude of counsel. There's safety. Sometimes it's not safe to be by yourself. Sometimes you need to call a friend, homeboy, say, hey, homegirl, family member, can I stay over there for just a day or two? I just need to be around some healthy people. Sometimes the right people will bring life to you, man, give you another perspective. You cannot heal on your own. And people who are full of pride, you know nothing of what I'm saying. You're so damaged with pride. You're so damaged with pride, you can't even understand what I'm saying. You don't even know another way. You don't know a way of including other people in your problems and your pain because you're so dysfunctional. You're so full of pride, and it ain't your fault. But it doesn't create a healthy person. The objective is not to be a person just navigating through life. The objective is to be a healthy person navigating through life. I want to be healthy, right? And isolating and avoiding people is a no-no. So take time for yourself. You heard what I said. It's okay to take time for yourself. It's okay to take time for yourself, but it is not okay to stay in an isolated, dark place, not coming out and not coming up for air to get healthy perspective and to get what you all say now, good energy around you, all right? Here's another one. Again, y'all, don't not take care of yourself. Get your nails done, get your hair done, get the haircut, go to the gym. Listen, physical fitness is a very, very healthy way to deal with stress. Read whatever you got to do, don't let yourself go. All right, watch this. Keep a healthy perspective of relationships. Stay away from thoughts like this. I'll never have another person. I'll never love anybody the way I love this person, A, B, C, and D. Those are your emotions talking, but stay away from that type of talk. Stay away from self-hatred. Stay away from negative talk about your future. I guarantee you, self-worth, hear me, you can feel the pain and you can hate the fact that the relationship didn't work, but do not allow low self-worth and the situation to dictate your future. If God, assuming that God gave you this person, right, assuming, and just because God gave you that person doesn't mean that the relationship may not work out, because we're still subject to our own will, right? But here's my point. Stay away from dictating your future based upon the current situation. Stay away from those types of thoughts. Stay away from not going out on dates. Date when you're ready, but do not, hear me, do not go on dates because you are afraid that the relationship won't work because of a past experience. That's why you got to properly heal so you can properly see your future. Did you hear what I said? You got to properly heal so you can properly see your future and see yourself and then see other people. If you don't properly heal, you will look at a person and say, you're going to do me the same way that person did. Why would you say that? That person don't know that person. That person ain't in cahoots. But if you're damaged, if you're deeply damaged, you will see everybody out of the filter of your past experience. And that is a no-no. I've done it. You've done it. We're all guilty because we do not heal properly. So we avoid powerful relationships, powerful friendships, powerful God-sent people because we have not properly healed, because we see people out of the filter of our past and our pain. When you heal properly, you can see people for who they are authentically. All right, last one. Don't have sex. I said it earlier. I want to say it again. Don't have sex to cope with your pain. Don't have sex with somebody else to cope with your pain, bro. I repeat, don't do that. All right, man. Hope you got it. Hope you're going to heal well.